One ticket has been punched to the SFL championship game. The Alaska Storm is headed back there for the third straight season and will host for a second straight time. Now, a challenger awaits, but who will it be? Will it be Dallas or Denver? Two teams, 3-9 last season, surging all the way to 10-3, and now in Denver for a chance to play for a title. It's the Lobos and the Nightwings, and it's next right here on Twitch TV. Welcome to Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium alongside Nathan Blake on stats, Andy Hamilton on analysis. I'm Cameron Irvine. How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to quite the battle between these two teams, one of which is going to punch a ticket to the SFL championship, something that is coveted by all franchises in the SFL, Cam, and deservedly so, because both teams have had a solid year to start off.
There's a look at the Dallas players to watch, Denver players to watch coming around the corner. And we're all hyped and ready to go. The Lobos and Nightwings in the semis. And it gets started right about now. Dallas in their road whites. Orlando in their, Denver in their home black and blues. Dallas wants heads. We don't even have an Orlando in this league, Andy. What's going on in my head today? Denver wins the coin toss. They choose to receive. They want the ball, and Dallas wants to go with the wind. And keys to the game are up next. Andy, what are they?
Yeah, Cam, this is hardly a football game. It's more like a horse race between these two running backs that you have on the field, between Zach Sandlin, the number 2 pick in the SFL draft coming out, and then Jared McChesney, who last year, didn't have a year that would blow your mind, but this year, boy, has he been putting on a show. The number 1 and 2 backs in the SFL, respectively, and we're going to see which team can ride their star running back into the sunset and on to the SFL championship.
Our crew's ready to go. Kick it. We're underway. And the Nightwings getting the ball first. This is Steven Vega from his 8-yard line on the return past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And we get our first look at Jared McChesney and the rest of this Denver Nightwing offense in the home. Black helmets, black jerseys, blue pants with white numbers.
Led by the run, the Denver offense really relies hard on McChesney, their offensive passing unit. Josh Miller, 19th in the SFL in terms of passing yards. So really, it's going to come down for Dallas here on the defensive side is, can you stop number 32 in the backfield? And
he gets the first handoff of the day and breaks a tackle and gets a first down out to the 38-yard line. Not afraid to use his own strength and picks up 10 for Denver.
Hard-nosed running from McChesney. That's what you want if you are a Denver Nightwings fan, especially heading into this game. Against Sioux Falls last week in the first week of the playoffs, McChesney ran for 207 yards on 25 carries, 8.3 yards per carry. They're going to want more out of them today.
Play action for Miller, turns around and fires it out to Giacomo Jones, picks up 7 yards, and a good start for the Denver offense. Dallas in the white helmets and jerseys with the black pants, black numbers, and the gold trim.
Giacomo Jones, 24th in the SFL in terms of receiving yards, had 932 in the regular season, and then last week was able to add some more to that, added 54 yards on only 5 catches, though. Some low production from him.
2nd and 3, Miller going long, and the pass is knocked away. Deep down the field, that was Cain Vasquez knocking the ball away. Dallas's defense been much improved over the last 5 games, only giving up 30 once.
12 passes defended for Vasquez in the regular season. Obviously, he wants to add on to that total. Had a pretty solid game against the Mexico City Aztecs as well. They have some pass threats there, including a tight end in Mike Daggs. Cam, I know how much you like Hiapo Kinloa on this Denver offense. They're going to have their hands full again.
Third down, first third down of the drive for Denver, and Miller gets it away just as he's hit. Logan Keogh makes the catch with Vasquez dragging him down by the collar from behind at the Dallas 43, and the Nightwings move the chains for a first down.
Yeah, they're going to need plays like that. Logan Keogh wasn't the most targeted receiver, actually the third receiving option in this Denver offense during the regular season, 545 yards on the season, but he makes a great grab there despite the good cover.
Trips left, and Miller going to flip it out. Again, that's complete, this time to Hiapo Kinloa. So that's Jones, Keel, and Kinloa with catches all on the opening drive. Miller's 3 for 4. Second and 3, 9:34 to go in the first quarter. Ball at the Dallas 36-yard line. 2 in the backfield for Miller. And 7 in the box for Dallas. Way off of Jones is Combs. As the handoff goes to McChesney, he hurdles a defender and gets another first down. Vasquez on the tackle up to the Lobo 28-yard line, and the Nightwings continue to move it. Now 2 minutes into the first quarter.
Denver running the ball well. That's what you want to see if you're a Nightwings fan to start this game off is, you know, you really want to see how much you can get McChesney going and make sure that this defense respects the run, and then that'll lead to opportunities in the passing game.
First down at the 28, 4 receivers for Miller, and Miller will throw again. Denver not afraid here to start the day. The pass caught by Kinloa. Inside the 20, breaks the tackle, and down the sideline, stepped out of bounds at the 13-yard line, but the Nightwings have the home fans on their feet.
Kinloa, a good option here for this Denver offense. Josh Miller's got to love him and the production that he's brought this season to them. Over 680 yards in the regular season. Added some yards last week as well. In that game, a measly 39 there, but they're looking to get him more involved, and that's a perfect play there across the middle.
8 in the box now for Dallas. Trying to stop the run, but Miller going to throw. Miller looking for McChesney, and he couldn't find him. Standing wide open in the slot, or in the flat. That was a sack in the backfield by a big old Jukin Rukin. And Dallas finally pushes Denver back for the first time today.
Rukin 9.5 sacks in the regular season, and just combines there. It looks like Denver's offensive line just really got overpowered at a couple different fronts. This Dallas defensive line between Maverick and Rukin is an interesting combination, and they get the job done there.
2nd and 16 at the 19. Hand off to McChesney, trying to get some of it back. And a big hit by E.K. Vincent right in between the hash marks for only a pickup of 3. A 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 plus for the first time for Denver.
Yeah, interesting for this Dallas defense. They've bent quite a bit, but can they get off the field here and not break too much? They're not the best defense in the league, giving up 31.2 points per game. It'll be interesting here to see if they can hold Denver, who's going to spread it out.
Empty 5 wide for the Nightwings. They need the 3-yard line. Miller going into the end zone. The pass is caught for a touchdown. Logan Keel makes the play, and Denver's on the board.
Wow, clutch time play for Dallas. They were trying to get off the field, and Denver overpowers them and gets this crowd rocking here on the first drive of the game. We'll take a look back here at the replay. It's just a post route deep in the middle of the end zone. It's 2-on-1. Dallas has enough men in the area, but Keel a little bit quicker on the break, able to shade in front, get the inside leverage, and make the catch for the touchdown. Great opening drive by Denver. They mixed pass with run, and they got it done, putting 6 on the board.
What a start for the Nightwings, as in their second home playoff game here in Denver, and obviously the one that means the most in franchise history. That extra point is good. It's 7-0 Nightwings, and their opening drive takes 3.5 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, it was a long drive. It worked well. They were able to show that they had both run and pass opportunities, including there on a big 3rd down. Josh Miller stepped up, put the ball right where they wanted to put it, and put the ball in the end zone for 6 as opposed to having to settle for 3. So tough outing for Dallas, but you got to get on the sidelines and regroup.
Kramer Jackman kicks it away. It's from the goal line. This is Mason Kirby on the return, and Kirby gets out to the 27. You know, Michael Goodman took over the offense 4 games, or 8 games deep, I should say, into the season. Since he took over on the offensive side of the ball for the Nightwings, they're averaging 35 points a game, 268 yards through the air, 171 per game on the ground. They have been a much better offense. It was a 10-play, 68-yard drive. Thank you, Nathan Blake, on that opening series for Denver. Now, Zach Sandlin's turn. what many believe might be the MVP. Voting ends today as Sandlin picks up 4.
Yeah, and they're going to have to get him going early if they want to make an impact on this game with Sandlin. The last time these two teams met, Cam, in Week 4, Denver was able to hold Sandlin to only 87 yards on 30 carries. So let's see what Dallas can get going today with him, but they got to be ready to cut it loose if it's just not working.
Sandlin looking for some room. He's still on his feet. Zach Sandlin still pushing ahead. Picks up 5 yards. He must have moved behind 4 different blocks that held just long enough for him to get nearly a first down.
Yeah, and that's the type of running you want from Zach Sandlin. Determined, not going to go down easy. Exactly what you'd expect from the top back in the SFL this season.
3rd down and 1 now for Dallas. Jacques Ulundula is the quarterback, and the handoff goes to Sandlin for a 3rd time, and Mike Sawchek holds him for the sticks for a 3-and-out. How about that from the linebacker acquired in Week 2?
Sawchuk coming in doing his thing. Was averaging 10.3 tackles per game throughout the regular season, including 5 tackles for loss, and he gets a big one there right at the line in order to cut down this drive and stall Dallas out 1 yard shy of what they needed.
Had an awesome game against Dallas, 9 solo tackles, which was 3rd most on the season. Vega returns up to the 30, and Dallas has reason to panic just a little bit here. Opening up, Miller 5 of 6 for 57 yards and a touchdown on that opening drive. McChesney 21 yards on 3 carries, and Ulundula did not throw on that first series for the Lobos, surprisingly.
Yeah, they went all Sandlin, which is very interesting considering what happened in the last time these two teams met up. I'll be interested to see if they stick with that pattern.
1st and 10 at the 30. Miller going to hand it off to McChesney. McChesney breaks a tackle, and McChesney gets another first down just past the 40 to the 41-yard line. It's all Nightwings early.
He ran into one of his blockers, it looked like, Cam. We'll see here on the replay as the guys in the truck do a good job. But, yeah, right there, he ended up running right into 64, and that gave the Dallas defenders another opportunity to make the play on him, because if he could have bounced that outside and got a block, Cam, we might still be screaming about that last play.
The Nightwings coming out laser focused here in the first quarter at home. 2 receivers either side for Miller. Handoff McChesney again up the middle. Gets rid of 2 and a 3rd. And there goes McChesney. He is gone for the touchdown. Denver, they're up 13.
Well, that's what you got to do. Give it to your man McChesney and let him run and run and run. Doesn't nearly have the touchdowns that Sandlin has when you look at the comparison, but in terms of getting it on the board when it matters, McChesney, 2 guys, 3 missed tackles, just gets down what he needs to, then shows the speed to outrun Crash Combs and Kane Vasquez to the goal line. Power and speed, the all-purpose back.
So Sandlin coming in had more rushing yards, really just a more all-around better season than McChesney if you just take a look at the running back comparison. But McChesney coming out and making a statement here in the first quarter. It's very early. Both offenses very explosive, including Dallas's, which is unprecedentedly explosive. But Denver has answered the bell here first, early, and often.
Yeah, 207 yards for Jared McChesney last week in their playoff game. Already tonight up to 91 yards. So whatever Jeremy Vega is doing on that offensive side, they know how to get McChesney going.
The Simulation Football League is presented by APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House by Extraordinary Everest. Heartfelt messages on the most extraordinary place on earth. By Bit Central and Fuel, transforming SFL media in 2019, and by Harry's, all you need for a close, comfortable shave. 5:14 to go in the first half. This is Kirby from the goal line. Dallas down 14, and Mason Kirby not going to get past the 25, only to the 22. And Dallas's offense has only had 3 plays so far, but when looking at these two offenses, Dallas 39.5 points. They have the 3rd best passing offense, 1st pass rushing offense, and they're pretty good in the turnover differential category as well.
Yeah, definitely an offense to be feared. One of the top offenses in the SFL this season. I mean, any time that, you can score or you can put up 300 yards a game, that's pretty good.
Sandlin first down there to the 33. That's the first move of the chains for Dallas today in his 4th carry.
Yeah, so far so good for Sandlin. I don't think, you can abandon the run because of that first drive by any stretch of the imagination. The only question is how much do you counter it with the pass? That's a good run there. But, one run that goes behind the line, and you got to start thinking in your head, Cam, maybe we should use Luyendula a little bit to kind of trade back and forth as opposed to relying too much on the run. And, well, looky here. Looks like they might rely on the pass a little bit here.
First throw of the day for Luyendula on the road, and it's nearly intercepted as Tristan Carr was in traffic. Nicholas Warner knocks that one away for an incompletion, and 200 bits from X Factor 56 in the chat. Appreciate your support always of the SFL.
Very good secondary for this Nightwings team. They have built it up over the course of the seasons, retaining a lot of the guys from this old San Antonio franchise, and they've really paid them when it mattered, which is important, and it should pay off tonight whenever Dallas throws.
Sandlin back to, taking another carry here, picks up 8 off that left side. We'll set up a 3rd down and short. On the last 3rd and 1, Sandlin wasn't able to get it due to a sawchuck tackle.
Yeah, but you saw what that did there, Cam, is it kind of backed up the secondary. They were a little more alert to the pass that might be coming, and you see here, the safeties are what? Almost 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. You have to respect the pass. When there's no pass, you can pull everyone up.
Sandlin in trouble, and he's going to go down in the backfield. A 2-yard loss. Deontay Phillips gets the stop, and Dallas has to punt again, and they have been over in short yardage situation in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's interesting because whenever Dallas lines up in a 1st and 10 situation with that personnel on the field, they can pick up 8. But then when it comes down to a 3rd and a yard, they can't pick up a yard. And so I think it comes down to that jumbo package, and when you try and are picking up small yardage situations, your guys aren't getting it done. Maybe they need to reevaluate and go with some of those 1st and 10 options on 3rd down.
Denver is ready. Dallas, again, 307 yards a game passing, and they have 0 here in the first quarter. And this tired defense now has to try to tackle McChesney again, who broke 3 for a 59-yard touchdown on the previous drive. 14-0 Nightwings. I don't think many people saw this coming here, at least here early in the first quarter. Out of the eye, Miller back to pass. And Miller will dump it off to McChesney. McChesney gets rid of 1, but then is taken down, I believe, by Vasquez again. Only a gain of 1. Kane Vasquez is having a brilliant first quarter.
Yeah, well, and he's had a good playoff run, too. Believe he had the interception last week against the Mexico City Aztecs. Returned for 28 yards. I mean, that's a really good playoff series. We might have to start calling this guy Mr. Playoffs.
4 receivers, 3 to the short side right, top of the screen. Play action from Miller, going out route, bottom of the screen, and Jones again open. We've seen that run a couple of times here in the first quarter. Sets up for a 3rd and manageable 2.
Good out route there, able to pick up 8 yards without too much concern. And you saw Jones there, made the catch, got out of bounds. When you have a running back like McChesney, you're not threatened to try and turn up field and be in a situation where you can't focus on just catching the ball and getting your feet down. That's something that Denver's offense you get out of when you have a back like McChesney.
They're going power here with 8 in the box for Dallas. Who's going to win this battle? It's going to be McChesney and his blockers. McChesney breaks a tackle. Oh my goodness! Jerron McChesney with Vasquez to beat, and Vasquez tackles him at the 19. 140 yards in the first quarter.
Unbelievable. McChesney, I mean, we talked about it. One of those horses that these team is going to rely on, and then you get this outside handoff with some beautiful blocking, and then just the power and the speed. Cam, that's what it comes down to. This guy's got both of them.
Without Vasquez, did you see where he came from? All the way the other side of the field. Vasquez, the only playmaker on defense right now for Dallas. Denver is chewing him up in the first quarter. 14-0 Nightwings, 2:10 to go in the first. Handoff McChesney again, running left. McChesney is wrapped up by Gamble after a 5-yard gain, and he's a little woozy to get up, and that's a little bit scary for Denver. They may want to pass here on this next play.
Yeah, may just be tired. Might want to call the backup in and just get him a rep on the sideline on this 2nd and 5. It's not pivotal that you pick it up here, and it looks like they'll keep him out, but maybe would have been better for the long-term health of McChesney to give him a breather.
2 in the backfield, 2nd and 5 at the 14. Going to give it to him again, and McChesney this time is wrapped up. And I agree with you, Andy. I think he's a little exhausted. Denzel Maverick makes the stop along with Lawless, and it sets up a 3rd and 5.
I would be exhausted. I mean, he's run 140 yards today. I walked the 3 feet to the fridge, and I need a breather.
This could be deja vu here. Alaska went up by 17 to Baltimore in the top of the 2nd quarter. With 4 receivers here for Denver. They're trying to keep the drive alive. 3 to the far right side for Miller. Miller going to throw this way, and it's Jones. Stops on a dime, and Jones gets a 1st down to the 6-yard line. Denver playing their best quarter of football in the semifinals.
Man, an intriguing catch there, Jones. What a nifty little move here on the out route. I believe it's an out route. Yeah, but with the way that he positions his body, he's turned upfield by the times he catches it, and it was almost like he just turned around and caught the screen pass. What a play for Jones, able to get past one and move the chains.
Denver earning some serious style points here in the 1st. Now a 1st and goal at the 6. Dallas is reeling. They don't know what hit them. Haven't even gotten to the 2nd quarter yet. Handoff. This is not McChesney. Instead, it's a touchdown for Skeeter Baja. Everybody's involved. It's 20-0 Denver.
Well, you know what they say, Cam. Baja blast, and Baja got right in there and just powered his way through. And when you have this offensive line that Denver does, they do a good job of matching up. Vincent can't make that tackle, and Baja is in, and I'm sure for Jeremy Vega and this Denver team, they don't care who gets in the end zone as long as the points ring true and they're on top of Dallas come the end of the day. And so far, that plan is working out for the Nightwings.
I think I speak for just about everyone. This is shocking. I mean, these 2 teams basically had to be separated by a very marginal difference in strength of victory in terms of who was going to get home field advantage. These 2 featured some quality wins during the season. They both earned playoff victories at home last week, and this is just incredible by Denver here.
Yeah, it's a different game on the road, Cam, and I know when these teams met in Week 4, Dallas could not get the job done on the road. Something about traveling, not being at home. Your schedules are thrown off a little bit. The air is different up here in Denver, excuse me. A lot of things for the Lobos that they have had to adjust to in Week 4. They lost by 21 here, one of their only 3 losses on the season. So it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back here now, down by 21. Luyendula only has thrown the 1 pass, 0 for 1. It'll be interesting to see, you know, now that he's going to be forced into throwing the ball more often, whether they can complete some of these passes and get something going through the air.
29 seconds to go in the 1st. Nightwings have the Lobos number through 5 quarters this season. Ulendula thrown out to the fullback and a lot of room to the outside before Armstrong and McCree comes over to make the tackle. B.J. Armstrong, Marty McCree, and that's the fullback Mo Motley with a 6-yard pickup. First completion of the day.
Yeah, and that, I was going to say I like that play. You know, when you have a secondary like Denver has, as Dallas as an offense, you can't try and threaten all of them. You don't have the weapons, so you have to kind of go to some of your other playmakers, get unconventional with your thinking and go outside the box.
Sandlin, first down, had a lot of space up the middle, pickup of 7 to the 35, and that'll be the final play of the 1st quarter. Wow, what a start for Denver. They're trying to punch their ticket to Anchorage and an SFL championship game. The Lobos will have plenty to say about that in the next 3 quarters. You're watching the SFL semifinals on Twitch TV, presented by APM Music. Dallas nothing, Denver 21. Cameron Irvine, Andy Hamilton, Nathan Blake with you, an all-star crew here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon from Denver. 63 degrees, absolutely perfect day for football as Ulandula with a flag down is in some trouble. He lost the ball. It's picked up by a big fella, and I mean a big fella. I can't even see the football. I think it might be a holding, and I'm not sure Denver is going to want to accept that.
Yeah, hold definitely. Gotta love when a big guy picks up the football. Of course, the Nightwings are going to accept. I'm not sure what you were going for there, Cam, but hey, free yards is free yards against the offense.
1st and 20, they do accept it. Hey, big kudos to Dutch Ostergaard, the center, recovering that fumble, because otherwise that would have been a decline penalty and a turnover and an absolute nightmare for Dallas. Instead, not much better, but at least they still have the ball. 1st and 20 at the 25 for Ulandula. Trips off the left side. Ulandula going hard here with 5 seconds on the play clock. Steps into the pocket, fires short, nearly intercepted by McCree. 2nd down, and Ulandula's now 1 for 3.
The last thing you can do as a quarterback, unless you are someone like Matt Wilson, you cannot go late to the backside with a floater, and that was what happened there. From Ulandula, he almost paid the ultimate price for it. Great job by Denver's secondary of keeping alert and staying home.
2nd and 20 at the 25-yard line. 10:14 to go in the second quarter. Ulandula going to flip it outside to Sandlin. In open space, Zach Sandlin immediately wrapped up by Matthew Lee, the corner who typically plays on the right side. MeUndies are the most world's comfortable underwear. Visit MeUndies.com/SimulationFL for 15% off your purchase, which will help support the SFL. To our partnership, give the gift of comfort with 100% satisfaction guarantee, free shipping and return, signature soft and stretchy. MeUndies, 3rd and 16 for Dallas. Trying to give their defense a break. Ulandula back to pass. Going to fire it deep for the first time today, and it's intercepted at the 47-yard line. Returned by Warner. Warner all the way to the Dallas 31-yard line, and this is getting ugly very fast.
Yeah, and that was the one thing I was going to mention before the play was maybe Dallas should just run this thing out, run the ball and punt it. Instead, they try and go with a crossing route, and Ulandula tries to force one inside where those 2 safeties sit. And Warner, a very good safety. Johnny on the spot, makes the pick with a solid return and brings it out. Warner himself on the regular season had 9 interceptions, so that'll be his 10th there of the season.
Junior, senior, third, very upset on the sidelines as that pass was intended for him and underthrown. 1st and 10, Miller again, 1st down, or near a 1st down, 7-yard pickup for Kinloa. I just got so used to it. And they get to the Dallas 24-yard line.
Yeah, good throw, good catch. Kinloa on that out route is, like I was saying on the first or second drive, that they threw that ball to him on the out route. That's a good way to get him involved. You know, you're not asking him to do too much, but you get him going.
In Kramer-Jackman field goal range, Dallas desperate for a turnover here to get the ball back. 3 receivers, McChesney in the backfield. Miller playing the game of his life. McChesney is going to get a 1st down to the 21-yard line, and the drive will continue. E.K. Vincent and Gamble there on the stop.
Very close to the 1st down marker. I was a little surprised they gave it to him so quickly. I mean, I don't dispute that it's a 1st down, but boy, was that close.
Jared McChesney now 149 yards on 9 carries for 1 touchdown. Miller's 9 of 10. Miller on 1st down, going to the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown, Logan Keel! He took it away from the defender. It's 27-0.
Oh, no. This is not what you want if you're a Lobos fan. You know, this 50-50 ball, these are the types that you think that your secondary might be able to win. He jumps the route, and I mean, that's just unbelievable from Logan Keel. World class to get his hands where they need to be. Obviously, him and Miller have been working together now for 2 seasons. A lot that goes into that timing and effort, and it gets done. And if you're Dallas, I mean, you're hovering over that panic button, Cam. That was 3 plays, and they went 31 yards and scored.
The only positive for Dallas is that there's just so much time left. They just have to get something going here, and it would certainly be a comeback for the ages. But, Andy, I mean, a lot of people have spent a lot of their time talking about Denver and are they for real and are they not for real. They've been doing it to some extent for Dallas, but with Dallas having the #1 offense in the league, it just hasn't been as much of a question. I think Denver is answering all their critics here in the first half. This has been a bloodbath.
Yeah, they're playing a very interesting Dallas Lobos team, and once we get to the return, I'll get to the rest of it. There it is. It's done. I think that Dallas is kind of the same way. A lot of teams have been asking whether they're the real deal. A lot of the teams that they've played haven't had, the best record this season. They have beat some quality opponents the same way that Denver has, but they've also lost a game or two that they might not have lost, if they were a team like Alaska. So both interesting. Now we'll see how much grit Dallas has, down by 28.
8:41 to go in the first half. Ulandula, all kinds of time, finally floats one down the field. Wide open is Tristan Carr. Picks up about 26 on the reception, and that was a pretty dime from Ulandula.
Yeah, great throw. Carr's one of those tight ends that, is kind of on the hidden side of the SFL. Really, you don't hear many people talking about him in the tight end game, but definitely a threat, and he found some room there to make Denver pay for it. They're going to need a lot more plays like that.
8:20 to go in the first half. Fireworks early and often here at Richard L. Snowden Memorial, and maybe Denver using the great running back, the statuesque running back, and some of his heroics from that Season 5 run. Handoff to Sandlin as Sandlin picks up just a yard, flattened in the hole there by Bailey Baca and company.
Baca, one of the better defensive tackles in the SFL, and now this really plays to Denver's, favor here with the secondary they have and what they were able to do against Sandlin in the last game. I mean, if you're Denver, you can't abandon the run, but you got to be very picky and choosy.
Ulandula fires it out to Mike Osai, his first catch, and they're going to give him the first down as he stretches it out past the 40. Armstrong on the tackle, but another needed move of the chains for Dallas. They're in Denver territory for the first time.
Yeah, not the Mike Osai of old for this Dallas team, relegated down to the third highest receiver, only catching 762 yards in the regular season. Definitely not what we're used to out of that gentleman who got his career start in Baltimore, but makes a good catch there to keep this drive moving.
And off Sandlin, and Sandlin not going to get much of anything again. It's Sawchuk in the middle of that lane along with Landon Mack. Second down, 7:13 to go here in the first half. This is the longest drive for Dallas. They've now been on the field 16 offensive plays.
Yeah, looked like a Build-A-Bear there, Cam, with the way that he got stuffed.
2nd and 10 from the Denver 40. 2 backs and 2 receivers. 7 in the box for the Nightwings. Handoff Sandlin, 1 and right. Cuts back inside, and Zach Sandlin uses some blockers to his advantage. Gets 8, and this has been the problem, Steven. This 3rd and 2, they're 0 for 2 trying to pick up the first down with Sandlin in short yardage.
Well, my name's Andy. Steven's down on the field trying to get this offense to pick up the 3 yards, Cam. I know Steven did a really good job, and I really never could replace him here in the booth for you. So if you just want to keep calling me Steven, that's fine by me. But let's see if they can pick up these 2 yards.
Hand off to Sandlin. He got the first down. What a run, Steven. Did I really call you that? That's unbelievable.
You did. It was great. I liked it. It made me feel more at home.
My brain, what do they call it? The brain memory or what?
Brain memory. Wow. Is that the scientific term there?
Yes, it is. That's not really what they say, but mine is just really good. It has a hard time.
My brain memory is really good. Yeah, Cameron Irvine, 2019.
First and 10. That pass is incomplete and almost caught by Osai off the bounce as Ulandula's looking for pass interference penalty, and I try to recover from a very significant blunder.
Yeah, I think you just had a brain injury in the middle of a broadcast.
Is that the scientific name for it? Or?
Brain injury, yes. Someone clip that. Man had stroke on stream.
Trips off the left side. We're having a good time. Sandlin in the backfield. Under 6 to go in the first half. 28-0 Denver. Ulandula, 3-step drop, and will fire outside to Kirby. Stops on a dime and turns for a first down to the 17-yard line. Kirby doing his best Giacomo Jones impression, and Dallas is in the red zone.
Yeah, it must be something about this side of the field because that was where Jones did it too, right around there.
Exactly.
When I was going to say for the last play, when it almost bounced into the other guy's hands, that wouldn't even have been the craziest catch we've seen in this stadium, Cam. Can you tell me which one that was?
That was the kick. Was that the kick?
The kick catch,
yeah, the kick catch. The kick 6, although in a different form. That's another, they say he's short of the first down. Sandlin out of the backfield making the catch for a 9.5-yard gain. Second and short, now down to the 8.
Yeah, nice job by Sandlin getting involved in the passing game, because they're going to need him there as well in the running game to try and get things going, because, down by this much, you can't rely all on the run.
5 minutes to go in the first half, 28-0, but Dallas on the move. Ulundula's pass is caught for a touchdown, Mike Osai, and Dallas responds. They are not going anywhere.
Yeah, the Lobos said, hey, you got Logan Keel getting in the end zone. We have our own old man over here. We're going to throw it to Mike Osai, and he's going to sneak in by the pylon. The good old Mike Osai out route, Cam. I think he's got a trademark on that in this league.
4:54 to go in the first half. Plenty of time. Dallas definitely is going to need a stop. Denver has 4 touchdowns on 4 drives in 22 plays. They have 250 yards of offense on those 22 plays and are averaging 11 yards per first down. The extra point is good for Dallas. A very good drive there from Dallas. You saw a mix of Sandlin and Osai and Carr, and lots of, including Kirby too, lots of people getting involved for the Lobos on that drive.
Yeah, they're not dead yet, but as Optimus Klein is quick to remind everyone in the chat, the largest SFL comeback is 24 points, but Dallas, like you're crediting them, has all the time in the world to do it, and that drive, does show positive lights. Now the question is, can they get their defense to get the stop?
Vega on the return, and Vega gets out of the 31. 500 bits in the chat from Madame 96. Appreciate your support always of the SFL. And boy, after I feel a little fuzzy after all those brain injuries from the last drive. I don't know what to, don't know how I can top that. 10-play, 76-yard touchdown drive for Dallas.
I think that warm, fuzzy feeling is you being back in the booth with Stephen Mullinex right here.
4:51 to go in the first half. Handoff McChesney. Oh, Kane Vasquez comes in and puts him in the dirt. 2nd and 7. Vasquez playing the shovel to McChesney's plant on that play.
Oh, look at you with a little bit of
I'm still smart and stuff.
My brain head works fine.
2nd and 7. At the 33, Dallas's defense looking for a big stop. Who's punching their ticket to Alaska to take on the 2-time defending champion Storm? Right now it's Denver, but Dallas trying to make a push. McChesney swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. That's their best coverage of McChesney today. Denzel Maverick beats him to the punch.
Yeah, Dallas just stuffed the box. 4-4 look out of that defensive front. That walks the strong safety up. Denver actually had the advantage putting twins up on the far side, so it was 2 receivers on 1 corner, but they run the ball, and Dallas makes a good play. Let's see if they can get off speed. Play
action, looking for Keel, but this time it was covered, and the fullback couldn't make the catch out of the backfield. Steve Aoki was the intended target. We've seen that twice before, but this time Crash Combs blanketing Giacomo Jones, and Dallas's defense gets a stop after the touchdown.
Oh, Cam, things are getting exciting. Dallas is starting to get the ball rolling. It's almost like, and pardon the poor pun here, it's almost like they weathered the storm early. Now they're in the eye, and they're just trying to get all the points they can before this Denver offense gets going again, but momentum's starting to move.
Things are getting exciting, and welcome into the broadcast booth here from the 31-yard line. Kirby on the return out to the 38. Cam is here, and everyone cannot believe it. Yes, I got all nice and pretty for everybody.
You got Steve Mullinex hidden behind you?
No, I don't. You can just drop that now, Andy Hamilton. Here, I'll put on the graphic to remind myself.
There you go.
Who is calling the game with me.
Speaking of dropping things, I'm used to having dropped catches in this league, so that works out well.
1st and 10 at the 38. Ulundula's out of the gun, back to pass, and he fires nearly an interception. Wow, that was a rocket off of Armstrong's hands, nearly over to McCree, and that is Ulundula's 5th incompletion of the day.
Yeah, he's targeting Mike Osai quite a bit too, Cam, which I said is a little off base for what they've been doing throughout their season. Osai, 3 targets and 2 catches. The next closest guy is Tristan Carr with 2.
2nd and 10 at the 38, 3:37 to go. Dallas down 21, but they've got some momentum here right now as Ulandulas passes. Oh, it's dropped! Wide open in the middle of the field. That was Harold Miner, who serves as the, I believe, the 4th or 5th receiver on this depth chart, and he can't make the catch in the spread.
Miner, I barely knew her, Cam.
No, you just did not do that. Stephen Mullinex, ladies and gentlemen. See, you can just blame him for all your problems.
I'm free now.
3rd and 10 at the 38, 3.5 to go. This is a big one for Ulandula in the offense. He'll fire it outside. Osai's going to turn the corner, but too much of an adjustment needed to make that catch. Armstrong saves the first down, and the drive ends in a whimper for the Lobos.
Nice catch, though, by Osai. Gets the yards that he can. And good thing for Dallas to not force anything. You want to keep Luyendula's confidence high. You end 3 yards shy of moving the chains, but now you're getting into this field position battle. Your defense just came off a stop. I still think that's a positive drive for Dallas at the end of the day.
3 minutes to go, first half. Low snap. Denver came after that. Couldn't get there. This is Vega on the return from the 20, and not a lot of room there at all, up to the 23-yard line. So it's kind of a shame for Dallas's defense. They finally get the stop, and then they can't watch their offense score. That would have really given them a shot in the arm, but it's back in their court now.
Yeah, and this Dallas defense, isn't the best unit we've ever seen. So they got to take advantage of the times when they do get off the field. Interesting look here, 4-4 against the spread. This could spell danger.
Miller trying to take advantage, flips it outside. Kinloa with the catch, 6 yards. I agree with you, Andy. That could have been some big trouble, but Tyler Rose jawing with Kinloa on the sideline, 2nd and 4.
Yeah, every once in a while, you put in that coverage, that 4-4 look to try and defend when Denver's absolutely going to run. But every once in a while, you get tricked, you get caught on the field with the wrong personnel, and you just kind of have to roll with it. Luckily for Dallas, that didn't bite them in the butt.
Miller's now 11 of 13. Corners are way off. Look at Logan Keel at the bottom of the screen. Hand off to McChesney, now running left. McChesney picks up a first down. Missing him the first time was Will Bates, the slot corner, but eventually caught back up with him as you look at Jared's numbers heading to the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, McChesney just has that burst to get into the secondary, and that's something that, you can try and teach a back, but it's something they inherently have to have in their skill set, in their wheelhouse to get going. And McChesney, boy, he has to.
And off, takes it for 5. That is the Quip 2-minute warning. We are here, and Dallas is looking for another big defensive stop to keep this game competitive heading into the locker room. You're watching the SFL semifinals on Twitch TV, presented by APM Music. Championship game, Monday, April 22nd. The winner of this game will be at Alaska. Pre-game 7 Central and kickoff 7:30 right here on, it'll either be on Twitch TV or YouTube. We haven't yet confirmed that. That pass is knocked away from Vasquez, so it'll bring up 3rd down and 5. Please stay tuned to SFL Social to find out the network for our championship game this season.
Man, talk about being able to change this game and make an impact. Cain Vasquez has had plenty of opportunities, so far taken advantage of almost all of them, but that one could have been a pick 6 if he would have been just a little bit quicker.
3rd down and 5, 1:57 to go in the first half. Miller changing the play, going to throw, had an out route on either side, and Jones is short of the sticks, and unless Denver gets really aggressive, Dallas is going to end up getting the stop. And I want to point out again, Andy, the Tyler Rose way off of Logan Keel at the bottom of the screen. I think Dallas just may be cautionary about getting burned by Keel there.
Yeah, and You know, it paid off for him there, and I was going to say, if I'm Denver, I would strongly consider this. 1:54 to go. You're up by 21, so, you know, if you give the ball back, it's not the worst thing in the world. Your defense has played pretty much lights out. Might have been worth getting a little aggressive, gambling the dice. I'm sure, you know, there are some NFL head coaches, the type that go for 2 all the time, like Mike Tomlin, would have liked to see Denver get going there and be aggressive, but I don't mind the punt either.
So 3 timeouts for Dallas, 1:46 to go. If you remember, Denver received to start the first half, so Dallas can go get a 2-for-1 situation here if they can take some clock off and get a touchdown. This is going to be Ulandula on the first play of the drive. Out to Sandlin, and Sandlin got as much as he could, 4 yards and out of bounds.
Yeah, 4 yards is actually impressive there, and if you looked, Cam, immediate pressure from Denver forced Ulandula to have to move and shift in the pocket a little bit to even get that throw off.
Chat shoutouts, Jay Signals, Cheeseburger Rivers 74, Eddie Gage, Base Scout, Shacker 3, AJ Jackson, Denver Nightwings, Iceman Gervin 44, and plenty of others in the chat room. Thanks for being here on Semifinal Sunday. Ulandula going to throw, going deep, laser to Osai, 50-40, Mike Osai breaks a tackle and down to the 23-yard line for Dallas, and he even got out of bounds with the back foot. What a rocket from Ulandula.
Wow, the old man still has wheels, Cam. Mike Osai, one of the veteran receivers in the SFL. I mean, this is a 50-50 ball. Great one-handed grab, but then I'm more impressed by the speed here to get down the sideline. It almost looked like Denver's secondary was not prepared for that. Maybe not what they've seen on tape from Mike Osai across the seasons that he's played in this league. More of a short out route type of guy, but there he goes big, and it paid off for the Lobos here. They're definitely in Belichick double-up range. Oh, and Denver's giving them a huge cushion on the top.
They're going to hand it off to Sandlin. Ulandula is wrapped up in the backfield and taken down. A loss of 2 as Sawchuck gets him after the trap play is blown up, likely there by Bailey Baca.
Yeah, not great there when your run plays are getting blown up and you take a sack on a run. That's not the best formula here on first down. Luckily, they have some opportunities. Still a lot of cushion on the top.
Throwing deep, pass caught by junior, senior, the third. No, it's Mason Kirby down to the 4-yard line with a minute to go. Senior, the third, still without a catch in the first half, but Kirby has stepped up big.
Yeah, great catch from Mason Kirby. Good to see them getting him involved. Like I said, Dallas is almost just saying, you know, hey, you're used to seeing senior the third catch the ball. We'll go to everyone else we have who's available.
Sandlin, touchdown, walks it in, and Dallas scores again. We've got a ball game.
Yeah, good to see Sandlin getting involved. And if you're Dallas, that's exactly what you want, is to try and get that guy into the end zone as much as possible. 189 yards, 36 carries last week, but could not find the end zone. Tonight, the 12 carries for 50 yards and a touchdown. And Dallas is right back in this game, especially getting the ball out of the halftime break. Man, this is going to get exciting. If you're in the Twitch chat, you do not want to move an inch.
They did leave 41 seconds on the clock for Kramer Jackman and the rest of Denver's scoring potential. This is a terrible snap, and somehow that doesn't get blocked. I don't know who that was blocking. I almost want to make that the Everscroll block of the game.
I was gonna say that's got to be the Everscroll block of the game, because somehow that kick did not get blocked.
Why not? There was a guy that just pushed the rusher way out of the way of the kicker, and that saved an extra point for Dallas, and that is your movement Everscroll block of the game with 41 seconds to go here in the first half, and Vega has some work to do here on the return game from the 10-yard line, and we'll get it up to the 30 with 37 seconds to go in the first half. Everscroll by movement blocks blue light to protect your eyes from digital screens. Don't hurt your eyes by checking out SFL action. Protect them. See every moment by using the promo code SimulationFL at purchasefrommovement.com. A portion of your purchase supports the SFL through our partnership, Movement Premium Watches, Sunglasses, and Accessories. As with 37 seconds to go, Denver trying to score again. This is going to be a throw over the middle, and another drop by Aoki down the middle of the field. He's dropped 2 now and got punished for it. 2nd and 10, and it stops the clock.
Yeah, interesting call there from Denver. I mean, out of all the people who can catch a pass in this Denver offense, the fullback is the last guy that you think they're going to go to, and maybe that's why they did throw the ball, especially with the drop earlier. It'll be interesting to see how much usage he gets, but also where Josh Miller goes here on 2nd and 10. They could just try and kill this clock.
Again, Jones was covered up on that play. Oh, my goodness! McChesney put E.K. Vincent on a suicide watch list there. My goodness gracious, loss of, or gain of just 4.
Well, I don't know how much soul Eric Vincent has coming into this game, Cam, but whatever he had, Jared McChesney just took that away.
And Vincent has been tremendous. We'll get to some of his outstanding stats later in the game. No timeout here as Miller going to fire, and it's dropped again! It's dropped again with 2 seconds left. That's 3 drops for Aoki, who has the playoff jitters, and this punt return will be the final play of the half.
Well, Cade Stevens has made it onto the field, and he's wearing number 33 in black. Somehow drops a 3rd pass in a pivotal moment. And if you're Denver, you will definitely evaluate, depending on how this game comes out, what Steve Aoki will be doing in the offseason and whether he will be returning to the Nightwings.
So Denver will punt it away. This has not been their second quarter, at least over the last 7 or 8 minutes. Dallas, a heroic effort to get themselves back into this game. That is going to end the first half of play. What an exciting first half it was. First for Denver and then for Dallas, 28-14. The Nightwings have a 2-touchdown lead halfway to Anchorage. As we go to the 2K Sports Halftime Report for first half stats and analysis. Here it is, 283 from Denver, 171 on the ground, 112 through the air. Miller, 12 for 17. Ulandula finishes 11 of 17 in that first half. Your reaction, Andy?
Yeah, I thought Dallas definitely stepped it up in a 28-0 hole. They were able to really get stuff going. Ulandula started finding his rhythm. Sandlin got going on the ground a little bit more. I like this Dallas team to start putting up more points and get back into this game even further, but it's got to start with the first drive. If you're a Denver fan, if you're a Denver coach, you got to get in the locker room and start saying to these guys, hey, we were up 28-0. Let's really stomp on their throats and finish this thing. But if you're Dallas, the door has been opened up, and your job is to jam your foot in the middle and keep pushing that thing open and get as far in the room as you can and make this thing a game.
You saw Baltimore fall to Alaska 31-17 in the first game of our playoff semifinal doubleheader. What did you think about the performance from the Storm? They keep a clean sheet, force 3 turnovers.
Yeah, I was very intrigued heading into the game. I think I put in the chat that I thought this might be a historic game that goes down in SFL history, and it just was not. Alaska came out, really showed some muscle, and got done what they could by really putting Baltimore to bed. And I think that just goes to a testament to what Alaska has been doing in the last 3 seasons of the SFL. Really the epitome of a dynasty. And they're going to be playing in another championship game, which is nothing new for Max Paul and that organization. So hats off to them for a good win today, and good luck moving forward. And for Baltimore, obviously a solid season, just not quite there.
Start of the second half is approaching, and Dallas will get the ball to start the third quarter from beautiful Richard L. Snowden Memorial here in Denver. A charming 63-day, very light winds. Andy Hamilton, Nathan Blake with you here as part of our crew. Mike Osai, by the way, 75 yards on 4 catches in the first half. He ended up having a very, very good half. And again, junior, senior, the third just targeted 1 time. He was picked off. As we begin the third quarter, this is Kirby from the 1-yard line on the return past the 20 up to the 23, trying to spin and dance his way through the black and blue, but can't find some room. So Ulandula, remember, Andy, with about 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, had 0 yards passing, and is up to 156.
Yeah, 85% completion percentage last week in their win, sitting at around 80% today, so still some room to improve based on what we've seen from him in the playoffs this season. I'm real interested to see where they go on this drive.
Back to pass to start the drive. It's out to the fullback. What a block by junior senior the third on the outside. An 8-yard gain for Mo Motley. Their fullback is catching passes as Warner picks up his 5th solo tackle.
He's catching passes, and he's built like a lineman there, Cam. I thought they might have had a tackle eligible running out there to make that catch. That's a big boy.
Loves him some Texas barbecue out there.
Osai.
That's right. Osai at the top of the screen. Senior the third at the bottom. Ulandula going to change the play. 2nd and short from the 31, and he'll throw out to Osai. Caught for the first down at the 38-yard line, and the Lobos get a first down to start the drive.
That's actually more of what we're used to seeing out of Mike Osai. I said it a little bit on his big catch and run earlier in the game, but he's used to making the small catches. I mean, he only averages 10.2 yards per reception in the regular season, but had the most catches out of any Dallas receiver this year.
Ulandula again changing the play here. 7 in the box for Denver, back to throw. And that pass caught by senior the third, his first of the day, an 8-yard pickup, and it again will help keep 2nd and 3rd down manageable. Just 57 seconds into the half, they're near midfield.
Yeah, and they're not forcing it to him, and I think that's key for your top receiver when you play this Denver team is you can't force things to the top guy. You kind of have to take what the defense is giving you and then let that top receiver make the plays when he has the opportunity.
3 receivers, 2 backs in the backfield for Dallas, including Motley, who's had himself a day so far. Pass is caught by Osai as the safe, I believe that was McCree, coming down to play a short zone and ran right past Osai for a first down, Dallas.
Very nifty throw here from Luyendula. Good routes on the inside, and if you look there, whoever that is for Denver, I couldn't see the number, read the play wrong, was running up to cover the guy in the flats and just missed it. If he would have broke on that ball, it would have been a lot less damage for this Denver team. But in terms of that, Dallas is moving the ball. They're doing well. Now they just got to finish this drive. 1st and
10 at the 40. Handoff goes to Sandlin, and Sandlin hit by Sawchuk, a 4-yard pickup. As we get a look at the updated numbers, cutting Cam short.
Yeah, I really like the way that Dallas, throughout where they've been in this game, how they've used Sandlin. Because I said, down by 28, they're going to struggle to try and get him the ball, but they've really sprinkled in when they use him, Cam, and it's worked really well for them.
3 receivers for Ulandula, back to pass, and has time, and the pass is caught by senior the third, who had to kind of dive to get it. A 14-yard pickup for JS3, and Dallas is in scoring position.
I'm not sure what was going on in the secondary there. That was a linebacker who ended up tagging him down, and I didn't see a defensive back within 5 yards of him. Maybe a breakdown, but you got to get that fixed against that top guy.
Gonna throw again. Ulandula now check down to Sandlin. Nobody was open. Picks up just 1. And I want to personally thank everyone who's staying here. Look, I'm not a Game of Thrones person, but it's HBO and a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and it's me sitting in my office putting out content, a one-man production crew. So, you know, you can choose who you want to support, but I appreciate all of you who are choosing the SFL here, right now. 2nd and 9, handoff Sandlin, and Sandlin picks up 6. It'll be 3rd and 4, maybe 5 actually. 3rd and 4 now in the red zone of the 19-yard line.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Cam, the only Game of Thrones I care about is that one that's happening on April 22nd.
Yeah, that's that championship game, and it'll be coming to you in beautiful 1080 HD. Damon Simeon will be along. Andy Hamilton will be here in stats and providing some analysis when he can, and we're going to have an all-star crew that night as well. That pass is caught. First down to, is that Kirby again in the slot? Mason Kirby with his 3rd catch for 42 yards. It's first down just outside the 10-yard line.
Some bits shout-outs as well. Shacker donated 100. Ron Cochran is up to 500 there. And Eric JDWA says, 100 for Cam. He said he chooses you, Cam. I don't think it's Valentine's Day, but you're his guy tonight.
That's all right. I'll take it. Sandlin will pick up 3. And also want to give a shout out to Quick555, who's new to the league. And if you're on Discord, that's the place to be. If you're not, join there, and we'll send you a video about how to get all involved and get on the field. As Base Scout asking who's calling the game. Me and Damon Simeon are calling the championship game next week. 2nd and 7 from the 7. Ulandula is in some trouble and fires. Oh, he almost threw an interception. He tried to force one in there as Sawchuk nearly had the pick. And that was dangerous times for Dallas. 3rd down now coming up.
Yeah, would not have been the best play. You know, you really just, if you're Luyendula, you got to be careful here. You're down by a lot, and a turnover really would make this thing bad.
6:26 to go in the 3rd. 3rd and 7 at the 7. 4 receivers, 2 to either side for Dallas. Sandlin in the backfield, only 5 in the box. And they're going to throw, and Ulandula's going slant, and it's incomplete as Senior the third gets demolished 3 yards deep in the end zone. I thought that Ulandula was going to squeeze that one in there, but Denver's defense clamps down, and they'll have to settle for 3.
Yeah, and still not the worst drive for Dallas. You know, there's a lot of time here. Take the points you can get. Like I was saying, you just have to protect the ball. You can't put yourself in a situation where you feel like you're playing against yourself. Really, you know, good drive. Take the points you can get and get off the field.
So the field goal coming for Dallas. This is a chip shot 24-yarder from Manuel, and that kick is up and good, 28-17. It's now 17 straight points for Dallas as they cut the deficit to 11. The Simulation Football League is brought to you in part by Matt Doyle Designs, official design partner of the SFL, by MediaTek Institute. Visit mediatek.edu for diploma programs. Turn your passion into your profession. And by MeUndies, the world's most comfortable underwear for men and women. 6:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's now an 11-point game. From the 11-yard line, this is Vega on the return. And Vega trying to follow that blocker, but can only get out to the 29. 6:16 to go. This is the running back comparison, Andy, coming into the night. Sandlin with all the better numbers, but tonight just 62 yards on 15 carries.
Yeah, well, I think it just goes to show you, you know, the effort that Sandlin put in during the regular season. I mean, McChesney's numbers are 2nd best in the SFL, and Sandlin is miles in front of him. So, you know, quite the effort from Sandlin, the number 2 pick, and that's why he was the number 2 pick in the draft.
Ooh! Oh, my, is Miller okay? What was that? Denzel Maverick, and it may have been Rukin as well. Can we please get another look at that? And we're not going to. That was one of the most vicious hits on a quarterback I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't know what Crash Combs and Zach Sandlin said to this defensive unit in the locker room at halftime, but whatever they did, they're coming out hitting.
That was a beheading as Miller on 2nd and 12 tries to hit Aoki over the middle, and finally Aoki makes the catch, a 6-yard pickup to set up 3rd and 6, his first catch on 4 targets.
Vincent with the tackle. Nice job by him covering that fullback, and he almost just let him try and make the catch because confidence-wise, if he would have dropped that, it all would have been over.
4 receivers, 3 to the left. Nickel look for Dallas. And another play action here from Miller. Miller going to fire top of the screen. It's knocked away by Tyler Rose, who comes out of nowhere to swat it away from Keel, and Denver has to punt again.
Great play by Rose. It looked to me like they were all set to catch that first down, and he jumps out of nowhere to make the play, and now Dallas is off the field again. Their defense has strung together quite a number of drives here to get off the field, and things are looking up for Dallas.
Man, Dallas continues to make this incredible push here on the road, down 28 at 1 point, as Denver has to punt it away again. From the 30, Kirby on the return, swallowed up at the 33-yard line. Denver scored on their first 4 possessions. They have punted on their last 4 as Gavin Hawk Jr. is down for Dallas.
Yeah, never good to lose a member of your secondary. We hope the best for him. I didn't see exactly what happened, but it looks like we'll get another look at it here. Just kind of playing the gunner position. Oh, that's
terrible. That is awful. How is there not a flag on that? And he's hurt. That's a 15-yard block in the back. That is ridiculous. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen that basic of a cheap shot. I mean, there's nothing else you could call that. Ulandula from the 32 will dump it off to Sandlin. He gets rid of one, and Sawchuk makes the tackle after a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, things are getting chippy here, Cam, with 5 minutes to go in the third. And, you know, you could chalk it up to Denver knowing and recognizing that Dallas is starting to get back into this game, and they don't have anything they can really do about it.
4:45 to go in the third. It is getting a little chippy. I think it all started with that hit on Miller. I don't think Denver took appreciation to that hit, and maybe a retaliation shot as Sandlin only picks up one. Bailey Baca inside, disrupting him once more. 63 yards on 16 carries for Sandlin, and it's back on Ulandula's shoulders.
Storm85 says, y'all rock announcers. Well, the announcers tonight are Cameron Irvine and Stephen Mullinex, so we want to thank you for showing your support. You can hit us up on Discord if you want.
3rd down and 6 at the 37. And Jacques throws it over the middle, caught first down to the 48. Junior, senior, the third with another catch. That's now 3 all in the second half. First down.
Yeah, it was a really good find across the middle, too. Senior, the third, just happened to be standing there almost on a hook route. He was open. And sometimes, Cam, those easy throws are the hardest to make. So great job by Luyendula to find that one. And the Lobos are moving again.
Alex D, 4210, Base Scout, Dead Knight, Trash Car, Thermo Killer 55 in the chat. There is a flag on the play that comes in late. Look Alive 24. Gervin 44 is also in there. And let's get this call. MeUndies Laundry on the field. It's offside on Denver.
I told you, man. The momentum is starting to move. You know, we're a little bit closed in here in the booth, but I'm sure this Denver crowd is a little anxious out there, considering that it's been a 17-0 run from the Lobos.
Cameron Irvine, Andy Hamilton, and Nathan Blake with you. Osai, 6 catches, 95 yards on 7 targets. Having a big game here in the playoffs. First down, Sandlin gets a block, gets another, and then Warner comes over. Senior, the third, just could not get that third on the outside, and Warner blows him up at the 46.
Yeah, the lineman had a good string of blocks going, and I thought if Sandlin could just get outside of Senior the third's block, but you're right, he couldn't hold it for too much longer, and bring up this 2nd and 5, still very manageable.
This third quarter going by quickly here for Dallas. They haven't made up too much ground here in the third. Just a field goal on 3rd down here. What a throw to JS3 for the first down of the 34. A sidearm pass into field goal range.
Yeah, he's starting to get going too, Cam, which does not spell good news for the Nightwings, because he was quiet early in the game, and now he's starting to come to life. Good sidearm throw here. I mean, look at that. That's gutsy there, Cam, to throw it into that situation with those defensive backs looking how they were at the time of the pass. I mean, I wouldn't have made that throw.
Landon Mack didn't see it coming. First down at the 34, 2:15 to go. Dallas driving again. Ulandula, pressure breaking down, throws an interception over the middle, and that could be returned past the 50, 40, all the way to the 36-yard line. That pass is picked off by Teddy Farmer in the slot.
Man, that's the situation right there that I said Luyendula can't put himself in. He just tries to do a little too much here, and he unfortunately throws an interception.
That was the first bad play from a Dallas player in 2.5 quarters, or 2 quarters. Wow, that was a shocker, and it woke this crowd up big time.
Yeah, and it gives Denver the ball in really good field position here and forces this Dallas defense into a situation where their backs are almost up against the wall already.
McChesney gets a block with a stiff arm inside the 20, uses explosivity down to the 4. Vasquez again saves a touchdown, and McChesney's up to a $197.
Yeah, Cam, and this game is almost playing out the same way that they did in Week 4. McChesney up at 190 yards. He's about 50 away from that 242 total that he had the first time these two teams met And Sandlin, down on his end, is not doing what he would like to be doing. He has 63 yards, which is just below that 87 yards he had in week 4. Things are playing out the same way they have in the past.
First and goal of the 4, handoff McChesney, nothing. Denzel Maverick cleans it up, as does E.K. Vincent, and we mentioned Vincent earlier. Vincent, 15 pass deflections this season, which leads linebackers in the SFL, and had a pick 6 in the last game against Denver. They have not thrown his direction hardly at all.
No, really, the couple times that it's been around him has been to the fullback, and those have been dropped.
3 receivers now for Miller, who's 13 of 19 for $117. Gonna throw out to McChesney. He's got some space, but goes the wrong direction and lost a yard. Tackled by Rocky Aquino, and this is a critical stop here in the red zone to keep it a 2-score game.
Yeah, big third down. If they can get off the field here and only let up 3 points, that's a big win for this Lobos defense coming out of the situation of that pick or the interception they just threw.
Play action here. Could go bottom of the screen. They do, and wide open is Giacomo Jones. This time finds some space, and Denver's back to a comfortable cushion.
Yeah, it's a tough play. It's a timing route. It's an out route, and the play action kind of draws people in, especially when you have the running game of McChesney you have to account for. It kind of freezes the secondary, and if you look, those guys, Crash Combs and the other outside corner, were kind of sucked in there. And, an interesting call here on the sideline. I thought it was close, but I don't know if I thought he was out.
I did too. Harry's close shave, close call challenge. Honestly, I thought he was in, but Stephen Mullinex may be seeing something different here. Let's get a look.
It was close. Let's take a look.
He got one. So
here we go.
Here we go. He definitely got one. Didn't get the second. And it's going to stand. That's a touchdown, and Dallas is going to lose a timeout. And, I mean, I don't fault Mullinex. You just never know. But yeah, that one pretty clean.
Yeah, well, I thought it was a good time to take it, too. Third down. You're talking about the difference of 4 points. If that gets overturned, this is a different ball game than if it stands. So, if Steven had any shred of a doubt, he's going to throw that flag. So I don't necessarily disagree with it. I would rather him throw it there than on a first down play later in the game that might not have anything to do with points.
So the extra point for Jackman is good, and now the road to comeback has gotten a lot more difficult for Dallas. They had scored 17 unanswered points, but now with 35 seconds to go in the third, things are starting to get scary once again. The SFL is sponsored by Movement Premium Watches, Sunglasses, and Accessories, by Quip, Perfect Oral Care, delivered by ScoreStream, official score updates app of the SFL, and by Spygoat, the sound choice. 35 seconds left, third quarter. The Lobos need to continue to answer and give themselves some hope from the 2-yard line. Kirby only out of the 23, and the pressure back on number 11. Jock Ulandula, 21 of 30, 239 yards tonight, but that interception was major.
Yeah, and it really shifted this momentum. It was a 17-0 Dallas run, now a 17-7 run, so they're still... the momentum is still up in the air, but obviously with that interception, the long run from McChesney, the Denver fans are a lot more into it than they were coming out of the break.
Hand off to Sandlin, only got one, and Sandlin averaging 3.7 yards a carry. Bandito on the tackle.
I don't like that spot at all. The ball's 5 yards forward, and then even from there, it was at least a 2 or a 3 yard carry, in my opinion.
Well, Dallas maybe getting gypped there. This will be the final play of the third. 2nd and 9 at the 25. Lobos don't have too much time left to Dilly, as floating it over the middle to Osai. The pass is caught, but it'll bring up third down going into the fourth quarter. Dallas in some trouble after Denver gets a tremendous play out of Teddy Farmer and a touchdown to seal the third. 1 to go. Put your 4s up. 35-17. Denver back up by 3 scores. And looking at Alaska in front of them. We're back after this. Cameron Irvine, Andy Hamilton, Nathan Blake with 3 receivers to the right of Ulandula, 3rd and 5. And he'll drop to throw, 3 steps, fires wide open is Tristan Carr. His 2nd catch. By the way, Osai up to an even 100 yards. He's been their biggest offensive threat, and Dallas keeps the drive moving.
Yeah, and they need guys like Carr to get going here if they want to get back into this game. I like the play. Out of bounds, stops the clock, leaves as much time as you can, but picks up a good chunk of yards. You got to start getting a little aggressive. You know, be careful with this ball, but you got to go downfield at this point. 10:52 to go. You need to at least double your points, if not more than that. So you got to get going here.
Handoff, Sandlin. Sandlin, oh, he had some room. What a tackle by McCree. If Sandlin breaks that tackle, he is gone, and McCree saves a touchdown, and that has been the difference. This Denver secondary is not letting Sandlin go.
Yeah, that was a one-play, one-man, one-on-one situation, and the difference was 6 points versus, you know, getting tackled in the open field, and Denver won that battle.
Ulandula, I don't know how he got away from that throw. He threw over the middle of the field. It's tipped almost off the back of the linebacker, Deontay Phillips, and Raul Duke could not come up with the interception, but scary times there as Jacques was on the run from Baca.
Yeah, he escaped from one, but might as well have just thrown it away at that point. Dangerous throw, and luckily it falls to the turf. Otherwise, Cam, we might have had to get out another rubber duck.
3rd and 4, 3 receivers, 2 to the right. Sandlin in the backfield, and Denver shuffling the linebackers around all over the place, but not to Tristan Carr as he makes an easy pitch and catch. Boy, that was a great play. The linebackers went left, and Carr was wide open.
Yeah, they need more plays like that where, you know, they have the open man. It's a safe throw. They know there's not much pressure on Luyendula, who has struggled tonight when trying to force something.
9:50 left in the 4th. Time trickling away on Dallas. This is the biggest possession of the game, unquestionably. Ulandula's pass is nearly picked by Sawchuk. Oh, dangerous living right now for Dallas.
Yeah, Sawchuk, that's his 7th pass deflection, and he only has 1 interception on the season, so that would have been quite the time to get number 2, Cam, but alas, Dallas lives for this 2nd down attempt.
9:42, 4th quarter. Nickel look for Denver's D, 3 receivers for Dallas. 100 yards for Osai, 41 for both Senior the 3rd and Kirby. Carr has 46. This pass caught by Carr, and it picked up 4. Again, Denver going for the jugular there as Phillips went for the pick. 4-yard gain for Carr. He's up to 50.
Yeah, and I thought he had it, honestly. I don't know how Carr came away from that with the ball. And it brings up this 3rd and 6, and they're going to run this bunch, and I like the bunch formation. It's a headache for secondary members, and they got to communicate well.
They throw it down to the bottom of the screen, and Kirby can't get the 1st down. 4th and 2 at the 37, Andy. I would go for this. Yep,
I think it's go time, and I don't like the call from Luyendula. You had the bunch on the top, and you went to the one-on-one coverage at the bottom. Like, it's obvious that if that ball is going to that receiver, you know, you're looking that way. If you're looking to the top of the screen, you at least have a couple options, and I don't like this move from Dallas to punt this late.
I don't either, especially when McChesney has a 100-yard touchdown to his name already against Dallas. There's no point in pinning him back. Down 18, but they're going to try. This punt going to bounce, and they run into the end zone, and what a mess they make of that. That's about a 17-yard punt. That's Hawk Jr. who got hurt and is still maybe suffering from a concussion, as Miller will start from the 20 and Dallas just gives it up.
Yeah, I mean, they're not out of it. 8.5. You know, we've seen crazier things, but still, you know, quite a bit going on here. The defense here has to get off the field as quick as they can.
8:36 to go. Backs against the wall for Dallas. This is Miller, fire wide open, and I mean wide open to Giacomo Jones. Only the ref was covering him. Jones has his 6th catch.
Yeah, Jones has not, you know, played out of his mind tonight, but has been there when they needed him, and they find him again on the post route, move the chains, and, you know, when I talk about getting off the field quickly, that is not what I mean.
So Miller's starting to get the offense moving again. McChesney's 1 yard off 200. 22 passes, 16 runs, a very balanced effort out of Denver, controlling the lead. 8:10 to go in the fourth. 3 receivers to the right of Miller. They're going to hand it off to McChesney up the middle, and Maverick there to meet him, but McChesney still picks up 4 and will milk that clock under 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's a good run from McChesney, and this is the part where having a great running back pays off, Cam. Once you have the lead, it's harder and harder for defenses to stop a guy who's just simply running the ball well.
4 receivers, defenders way off in the secondary for Dallas. Miller changing the play, and Miller just going to fire an out route to the sideline to Logan Keel to make it a more manageable third down. And Andy, the 2 teams that either have won or are winning today, Alaska and Denver, neither have turned the ball over in the semifinals.
Yeah, and both have scored over 30 points, and to this point have held their opponent to only 17. So very interesting with the way that this could look if nothing else changed, but obviously with 7.5, you'd imagine there's going to be something else that's going to happen.
Third down and 3, 8 in the box for, oh, and Dallas jumped offside. It's not going to matter because McChesney's off and running again inside the Dallas 45, and you can start to see some cracks here in Dallas's hope and defense as they're letting Denver get back down the field.
Yeah, they just haven't had enough on the defensive side. You know, they had some good stops, some good breaks. They couldn't, you know, make all of them count, and now they're in a situation where they really, really need a break, if not 3 or 4, and the defense is just starting to crack from the sheer amount of time they've been on the field.
7:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Nightwings up by 18, and they are going on a drive right now. 4 receivers for Miller. They bring a blitz, and Miller gets a little distracted by it and overthrows Logan Keel by a mile.
Not a good-looking pass there, and it'll be interesting. Miller, not the best quarterback the SFL has seen, but Denver has been getting away with it. I mean, in the regular season, Cam, 17 touchdowns to 19 interceptions. Usually when you see a playoff quarterback, they are not in that direction when it comes to touchdowns and picks. 2nd
and 10 of the 44. They're going to try Jarrett on the ground. Jarrett having some trouble until he's not, as Crash Combs shakes the birdies flying away and around his head. A 6-yard gain for Jarrett, and they are near Jackman's range if they're not already.
Yeah, McChesney, he's just so shifty back there. He's able to kind of get out of situations that most backs could not. That's something you got to love.
3rd down, handoff McChesney, and he easily gets the first down and more all the way to the Dallas 26, and the Lobos just can't get the ball back.
Yeah, and the crowd here in Colorado is loving it. You know, they smell what's going on. They know what's about to happen as McChesney just continues to push this thing further and further out of the Lobos' reach.
Denver on the move. Time running out on Dallas. They're going to regret punting that on 4th and 2. That just terrible decision there. 2 receivers for Denver. Dallas needs a miracle. 6 minutes to go in the fourth. McChesney in the backfield. Miller going to throw. Miller looking, fires, oh, it should have been picked off, and it was dropped. That was the moment. Rocky Aquino had it and could have taken it a long way, but can't come down with the pick.
Yeah, that was an opportunity there for Dallas to rewrite this game, and you know, like you said, he could have taken that a fair distance, had some blockers in front of him, and it's just tough.
That drop will live in infamy. 2nd and 10 at the 26.
2nd and 10.
142 yards, 3 touchdowns, 122 quarterback rating for Miller today. A very good day for Josh Miller. Handoff McChesney. He's stuffed right at the line by Vincent. Really nice tackle. If Dallas can get off the field right here, right now, it's a 3-score game. They give themselves a shred of hope. But they have not been able to get off the field on 3rd down. Denver is 5 of 11 on that down.
Yeah, 3rd and 10, though. Interesting to see here what you do if you're Denver. They're going to spread him out and throw. I would run and get this clock going.
5.5 to go. Dallas needs an incompletion, save some time. Miller out of the gun, back to pass, needs 10, going for it all. It's caught for a touchdown, Logan Keel, and Denver is getting online and checking flights.
Well, tough throw, tough catch, tough for this Dallas defense to look on. They thought they had him dead to rights, and Keel just runs a perfect corner route. The throw is on time, and Denver is in a situation where they are, looking very, very good.
Oh my goodness. What a game for Denver. And this is back-to-back playoff games for Denver where they've scored over 40 at home. And their toughest task remains at Alaska, as the extra point for Jackman is good. And I think we would be just wrong not to start to preview this championship game between what will likely be Denver and Alaska next Monday. And just because Alaska's the 2-time champs, no matter who would have won tonight's game, they would have been an underdog for that reason alone. But we've gotten to see Denver grow over the last month of the season. And Andy, I mean, why do you believe that Denver, what's Denver's best shot at going into Alaska and being the first road team in the playoffs this season to get a win?
Yeah, I think, Denver definitely has the tools, as you've seen here on the offensive side. They're a powerhouse. I mean, they have the opportunity every time they go in to score 30-plus points. And so then really it comes down to their defense and what they can do to game plan against the team that they're playing, the opponent, and what they can do to figure out a break. I mean, here tonight and in the Week 4 matchup, it's been Sandlin. They've been able to stop him enough times as they give the ball to him again to force Luyendula into doing something he's not comfortable with, which is throwing the ball more often than he doesn't. Against Alaska, they're going to have to figure out, what is that thing that they don't like doing more than they like doing the other. And unfortunately, the Storm are very well balanced in the run and the pass game, so it'll be interesting to see what Denver comes out with. Offensively, they should be fine. They'll obviously have a big threat in Alaska, but it'll be interesting to see what they do to try and counteract that Storm offense.
Sandlin gets the first down. Denver is about to improve to 8-0 at home this season. On the road, they obviously have, it's been a little bit of a different story. That's where they've suffered their 3 losses. They lost by 4 points to Vancouver. They lost by 13 to London, and then New Orleans really caught them by surprise there in the middle of the season. 24-point loss, and that's really the one you point to for New Orleans, as that pass is caught down the field by Kirby. Kirby breaking a tackle, and Dallas answering back. That's Mason Kirby for a touchdown, and the Lobos not giving up.
Yeah, they never do, and I think that's one of the things that you admire about this Dallas team is, they might be down, but they're never out. And Cam, not necessarily the end of the world here. It's back to a 3-score game.
And that was against Matthew Lee and the rest of the starters who were still in the game. Warner was the one that chased him first, and then Lee tried to bring him down. So back to an 18-point game. I'm sure we'll see an onside kick here from Dallas with 4.5 to go just to try to give themselves a shot. But this is almost the exact score. Denver beat Sioux Falls 43-24, and now 42 to likely 24 here after the extra point.
And an onside kick coming, I would imagine.
Kirby now the leading receiver for Dallas, 108 yards and 5 receptions. And what a nice night here for Mason Kirby, who is not the focal point of this offense, but is enjoying a beautiful night of football.
Yeah, definitely the bottom of the receiving totem pole. Has less receptions in the regular season than Zach Sandlin even. But nice catch by him. That's only his 3rd touchdown this year.
And the onside kick is going to be dropped, but then Denver recovers at the 39-yard line. Dangerous there. as Graham Canyon came up with the onside recovery. By the way, first 100-yard game of the season for Kirby tonight, so congratulate him on a season high. There's McChesney's ridiculous numbers.
Yeah, he's only 11 yards off of what he had last time these two teams met.
And he's probably going to get some more here. 4.5 to go in the fourth. And Dallas right there. And it took 2 to bring him down, or the second, rather, to bring him down. A 4-yard gain for McChesney will roll the clock. 42-24, and Denver back in Jackman field goal range.
Yeah, and if you're Dallas, you know, you're really hoping for something, you know, abnormal here, a throw that goes right into the hands of one of your defenders, or a fumble even from McChesney, who has not fumbled all season, so unlikely.
Under 4 to play. Miller bleeding some clock. John Boy asks, will there be a Pro Bowl this season? Voting's been open for a couple of weeks now. Make sure you get your votes in before that deadline expires. McChesney picks up a few as Malone Jr. makes the stop. 3:40 to go. Denver counting down the seconds here as they're going to get their shot against Alaska. The two have only played one time in the Denver Nightwings history of this franchise. It was a 37-24 win for Alaska in Denver. It will be Denver's first trip to Alaska.
Yeah, and first trip, no matter what franchise, no matter what city they're playing in, to the SFL championship game. And I have to wonder if, as McChesney picks up the first down, that will most likely put a cap on this game. What Greg Corky's thoughts would be, looking back on, you know, the team that he put together since when Jeremy Vega came in and took over the team. He retained a lot of those members, such as B.J. Armstrong. I believe Warner was another part of that team, Logan Keel. A lot of those guys stayed put in Denver, and they struggled through, you know, last season. And now it's all accumulating in a trip to an opportunity to play in the championship game. In
that game, Cochran 32 of 42, as McChesney not going to get much anything there. 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Jason Williams at fullback had a whopping 21 carries for 106 yards as they blasted the fullback through. Just 2 sacks for Alaska in that game, and then for Denver, Miller, pretty nice outing, 27 of 34, 253 yards, a touchdown and a pick. McChesney just 66 yards on 18 carries, so we'll see what can happen there as we've hit the quick 2-minute warning. And then a pick 6 for Osiris Pelican, who's still on the team but playing the slot for this Nightwing squad. But just some of the big-time players from that one and only matchup between Denver and Alaska in their history.
Yeah, and a very different a very different Denver team at that point than they are now. Obviously, McChesney is not the man that we see him be today. He's obviously improved quite a bit in that offseason, so it'll be interesting to see what impact that has on the game, because today we saw Baltimore not even really utilize their great running back T-Roy Gaines, so it'll be interesting to see what Denver decides to do with McChesney and how they involve him.
So 3rd down and 6 here, 1:55 to go. Just one timeout for Dallas. The backups are in for Denver. That's quarterback Penny Paco out there. And he hands it off and will not get the first down. That's Baja, who has a touchdown earlier in the game. Dallas will burn their last timeout and force a Jackman field goal, so they'll get a chance to put some more points on the board in garbage time. The Nightwings hold the league's #1 offense in the regular season to, at the moment, 24 points. And that #1 rushing offense to over 100 yards worse than their average this season. Field goal for Jackman, 38 yards away. And low snap, nearly blocked, but the kick from Jackman, automatic, good. 45-24. The lead expands for Denver, and it's right back to that 21-point margin they had when it was 21-0.
Yeah, and an interesting stat for you, Cam. Only 3 kickers are perfect throughout the SFL season so far. And if all things hold, 2 of them will be in the championship game.
Well, that's going to be a kicking show, and don't miss that championship game. We're going to be pulling out all the stops all week long. Monday, April 22nd is the date. The time is 7 p.m. for your pregame, 7:30 for kickoff, and it'll be the Denver Nightwings and the Alaska Storm. All home teams have won in this playoff bracket, which I don't think has ever happened in league history, as Denver will try to do what some believe will be the impossible, and it's the ultimate David versus Goliath, just because we've never had a 2-time champ. And not only do we have a 2-time champ, but we have a 2-time champ that's still defending it in action next week.
Yeah, definitely will be interesting.
Osai picks up 7 and gets out of bounds up to 105 yards on the night, just shy of Kirby's 108. Let's talk about Dallas for a minute. A tremendous season. There's an announcement coming out tomorrow that is coming out of that camp, so look out for that. But the Lobos, what a tremendous turnaround. 3-9 last season, and wow, they really turned some heads. Last season they didn't have much of a running game with Sandlin as senior the third gets the first down. They were a very pass-heavy team, #1 passing offense in the league 2 seasons in a row. And their defense started to come together late in the season, and they just ran into a buzzsaw tonight with the Nightwings.
Yeah, have definitely put in work, put in the time, and are very deserving of being in this game. Dallas has done amazing things this season to put together the season that they have. Hats off to Stephen Mullex, Crash Combs, that whole organization. From top to bottom, bringing in Sandlin, making him the MVP candidate that he is, with the #2 pick in the draft. They are a success story going from nearly the bottom to nearly the top, Cam. I mean, so close to being in the championship, just 1 game away. So hats off to Dallas, and I think a lot of teams and a lot of people don't remember that this Dallas team was the one that was in the Season 8 championship game against Queen City and lost that game, but we're so close to the top, and now, only seasons removed from that, we're just 1 game away yet again.
Lost that game just by a touchdown. Very low-scoring defensive battle in that title game that Dallas happened to host. And the home team has outside of Alaska, has not had a lot of success in the SFL. Minneapolis upset Louisville. Queen City upset Dallas, as that's going to be short of the first down. On the road, Mexico City was able to get the win at home. But back in the day, D.C., remember, beat Santa Fe. On the road, it was 3 out of 4 winning championship games on the road. And only recently has that trend flipped. But there's certainly a history of teams taking their talents on the road and getting an incredible victory and stunning the home crowd as Sandlin gets a carry.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what Denver decides to put, in that championship game, how they choose to attack Alaska, and vice versa, how Alaska choose to attack this Denver team, and what, really, for me, it'll come down to what Jared McChesney can do in the running game, because for me, no offense to Josh Miller here, but through the regular season, he has not been the best quarterback. Tonight, he looked very good. I'm interested to see, because for me, I assume that's where Alaska will try and challenge Denver. Experienced
coaches will say and tell you, don't overthink it. Just don't, whatever you do, don't overthink it, and stay true to who you are, and use your strengths against their weaknesses and vice versa, and that's just simply the name of the game. And we're going to see what hopes to be a tremendous championship matchup, as Dallas is still trying to drive down the field here. They've only got 17 seconds left, and it's been slow cooking trying to get things going against Baca and the rest of this Nightwing D.
Yeah, Denver is built very well from front to back on the defensive side, the defensive line, and then the linebackers make a good front 7. And then when you add on top of that the secondary that Denver has, it really creates problems for a lot of teams.
Two receivers, one to either side, and 4th and inches here. Let's see if they try to run it again for the first down. That's what they did the last time they had a 4th and short. Nope, Ulandula's going to throw and fires it outside. Senior the third will stop the clock again with 13 seconds left. Dallas is making the Nightwings fans earn this. Can start to hear a few boos from the crowd saying, come on, let us celebrate.
Yeah, the last game here at the Memorial Stadium here, you know, the crowd wants to get it going and pay honor to Richard L. Snowden and this team that they've cheered on all season.
Ulandula in trouble and gets a face full of Bandito there, and I don't think they're going to be able to get back to the line, and they will not. And that is how the game ends. The Denver Nightwings are going to the championship. They will take on the Alaska Storm as the Storm try to make it 3 in a row. Your 2K Sports post-game show. And here are your final numbers. Dallas actually outgains Denver. But again, just like Alaska, the Nightwings keeping a clean sheet and getting out to a fast start at home. And that's going to be key next week. Don't allow Alaska to get out to a fast start, because they want McChesney running that ball hard. Josh Miller with 4 touchdowns tonight. No picks, a quarterback rating of 126.3. He's challenging Jared McChesney for player of the game. Who do you think deserves it, Andy?
I think it's got to be McChesney himself. I mean, the guy was all over the field, running the ball, making people pay. It's either that or Logan Keel, in my opinion. Those 3 touchdowns do weigh heavy. And really, you know, it was almost a dagger at the end, the last one. So, to me, it's one of those 2 guys.
Well, Denver's got a new secret weapon, Michael Goodman. His success as offensive coordinator in Denver continues. The defense has been playing lights out too. And outside of that last-minute touchdown there from Kirby, the Lobos held to just 17 points, 22 under their average. And the Nightwings are going to pose a threat. Both teams 11-3. And boy, throw it all out. Let's see what these 2 teams have in store. Everyone else going to be trying to figure out their offseason plans, and these 2 are going to be straight labbing. I wonder if Max Paul is going to be staying up all through the night, all week long, like he did last couple of years. McChesney, 248 yards, 26 attempts, 1 touchdown as your extraordinary Everest player of the game. Final thoughts, Andy?
Yeah, I thought it was a good game from Denver. They came out and they put things together that, you know, really stunned Dallas. Dallas did a really good job of fighting back in this game, but just couldn't quite pull it all together.
Thank you, Nathan Blake. A tremendous job on stats all night long, as usual. And for Andy Hamilton, I'm Cameron Irvine. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League. And we'll see you next Monday night for the championship game. This is the Simulation Football League, and we're having a ton of fun. Good night, everybody.